house is full of shadows now. I can see them, but I don't know how. Faces drift from room to room. They speak my name with sounds of doom and disappear like morning fume. I spend my years collecting thoughts unspoken, chasing hands that pulled away. I traded my gold for promises broken. Was with my spirit I exchanged. Hadn't known I had changed. So now I sit and stare deranged. Now the silence sits beside me like a friend I've always known, and it's hard to understand it after all these years alone. The people that I held so tightly were never mine to keep. Now I count the ones I drove away instead of trying to sleep. Away with all the ones that ever showed me love, the ones who fought for me when push came to shove. Softly spoken clues of who it is that I speak thereof, going on now without them and never rising above. I know it's too late for that now. I gotta push on through it all somehow. The silence sits beside me. I sit alone. There were good hearts at my doorstep, patient eyes that saw the truth. I turned my back and chose the darkness, thinking I was bulletproof. Every road I should have taken lingers somewhere out of sight, like distant lights beyond the valley that I can never reach tonight. My thoughts are all that I own, and I sit alone. Now the silence sits beside me like a friend I've always known, and it's hard to understand it after all these years alone. The people that I held so tightly were never mine to keep. Now I count the ones I drove away instead of trying to sleep. I could have made all it through somehow, but my ghost will not allow. I work for the sweat of my brow. I would do better not to break my vow. To the silence that sits beside me, and I sit alone. I became a man of many kinds of lows. It's not a lot at all if it even shows. All the highs became like a compass, the drugs pointing me to nowhere to go. Year by year they carved a canyon through everything I used to know. I heard the ones who stood beside me and strangers crossing through. Every story that touched my hands left carrying another bruise. Every time I would use, I would always lose. If I could go back and choose, I'd call their names if I could find them one by one and face to face. But time scattered all their footprints and erased each hiding place. But the silence sits beside me, and I sit alone. I became the thing I hated, the man I'd sworn I'd never be. A hollow frame of old excuses, dragging chains nobody can see. Sometimes I wonder if my presence ever helped a single soul, or if the world would have turned the same without me in it. I guess I'll never know. And I sit alone. Oh, now the silence sits beside me, and I finally hear its voice. It tells me every road behind me is no longer of my choice. The ghosts of all the good I wasted gather there at my door, and the sorrow doesn't need a reason when it already knows the score. But I'm right here on the floor, with the silence still right here beside me, and I will always sit alone. So I sit among the ruins of the life I let decay, watching shadows fill the corners as another evening fades away. And somewhere far beyond my reach, never gave in to hear them preach. I could have been more real, should have just learned to heal. Now I'm not in the way, nothing more I can say. It's the silence that's still sitting right here beside me now, somehow. Oh, and the silence is still sitting right here beside me now, somehow. The house is full of shadows now. The house is full of shadows now. The house is full of shadows now.